right, President Trump's attorney tried to keep law enforcement from accessing records seized in a raid that happened last week.
All right, Wendy Patrick joins us now for today's Inside the Law. Wendy, good morning. Always good to see you.
Good morning. Always a pleasure.
Okay, so what exactly were they trying to do with stopping the accessing of these documents?
Well, the whole purpose of yesterday's hearing was for really the administration's arguing, and Cohen's attorneys are arguing, look, you seized material that's protected by the attorney-client privilege. And in order to make that determination, you've got to let us see them first. That was the argument made by the president's attorneys and by Cohen's attorneys. The prosecutors, on the other hand, said, no, we have a taint team ready to go through and take a look ourselves and make sure that the main investigators only look at the things they're legally able to do. So with those competing interests, the judge basically said, really not much of anything in terms of what's going to happen immediately, but instead gave both sides the opportunity to sort of get a heads up as to how many privileged documents are we talking about and how long is it going to be to go through those by each side and decide what can be used in this prosecution.
Okay, the big, for lack of a better legal term, the big whoop-de-whoop yesterday.
That is a legal term.
My goodness gracious. Okay, so Sean Hannity apparently, we don't know if we're going to call him a client of Michael Cohen's or we're going to call him, there was some sort of ties to this attorney. Why was that a big deal, or was it not a big deal?
It's not a big deal.
I'll
give you the analogy. You know, we talk a lot here behind the scenes, you know, when we're not on set, and I talk as a lawyer. That doesn't make you my clients. If it were otherwise, we would become lawyers and client relationship-wise, no matter who you talk to about legal matters.
Right.
So there's a difference between the attorney-client privilege and the duty of confidentiality, the cocktail party phenomena. So you meet lawyers at cocktail parties, you tell them a little bit about a problem you're having, they tell you a little bit of advice. Lawyers should not be doing that, but they do. It doesn't necessarily make you a client, but it could give them a duty of confidentiality. Now, fast forward to yesterday, what we heard about Sean Hannity. We don't know what basically what the bottom line is with respect to, is he a client? Is there some kind of duty of confidentiality? But what relevance does it have to the ongoing investigation? Is it serious or is it salacious? And that is why, you know, some court hearings have become theater. They're political theater. And
so
you
what
wonder,
relevance does it have?
yeah, we don't know because nobody's seen the documents. That is the thing.
So it could be relevant, it could not.
Well, it could be, but remember, we've gone so far afield from the reason that investigators served the search warrant to begin with. They weren't investigating Sean Hannity. They're investigating whether or not Michael Cohen has done any, is it bank fraud, wire fraud, those types of allegations.
Because attorneys have multiple clients. You're not just representing one person, so what's the...
Well, they normally do, but apparently Michael Cohen does, we'll call him the client in chief. The president appears to be, I mean, can you really have another client if the president is your main client? No.
That's true.
So maybe he only has three, maybe it is Sean Hannity, maybe it isn't, but we've just gone beyond the relevance that both prosecutors and the defense really would like these hearings to have. It's about Michael Cohen, not about all these other interesting matters.
Okay, I always compare things like when you're dangling the shiny objects and the shiny keys in front of like a baby, and then when you hear, oh, Sean Hannity, ooh, everybody goes into a tizzy, and then you hear, ooh, Stormy Daniels is in court, everybody goes. What is she doing in this?
Well, that was the question that most serious people were asking yesterday. Obviously she's interested in the proceedings, but to have given the press conference afterwards, you wonder whether or not that was just interesting rather than relevant. And you know, you see these types of things staged in a lot of different proceedings. Of course she's a party in interest, and it's her right to come to court. They're open proceedings. But I think what the prosecutors would tell you is that just rather focus on the legal issues that matter, that are going to be relevant to the case. Who gets to preview the privileged documents and when, and how can we move forward most expeditiously? You heard that from the judge.
Okay, so based on what happened yesterday, now what? Where do we go from here?
The next step is another hearing that's going to be very similar to the first one. What the judge ordered yesterday is for the prosecution to turn over to the defense what information was seized, and then both sides are going to reconvene. We'll see if it's the same media circus as yesterday, with their recommendations as to who should peek at the privileged documents first to decide who sees what on an ongoing basis.
So glad I quit law school. So glad I didn't get
you would have made a
that
great lawyer. I'm always encouraging you to rethink this. It's never too late.
It's too late for both of us, believe me. It's like, people don't like to see the actual legal process as it's doing its thing.
It's not as
everybody
interesting.
Wants reaction right away.
We try to make it more interesting than it is.
That's why everybody, Stormy Daniels is there, 1,000 microphones. What are you going to do? Wendy Patrick.
By the way, can I tell you, I love your necklace. It's I keep looking at it because it looks like from Titanic.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Remember the Titanic where she took the necklace and then she threw it in the ocean?
The best scene.
The best scene.
No, you bet.
That looks like the Titanic.
Thank you so much.
I just noticed the little things. Wendy, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy.